Hey guys, how's it going today? Per our discussion at Steyr Club, we're going to look over some stuff on the Steyr. It should affect the SC and M series pistols. So what we're going to do here real quick is unload magazine here and load up some dummy rounds. We got 5 dummy rounds here. You guys get to all look at my keyboard today because this is the best place I could do the lighting at. Nice shot of my serial number there. 3, 4, 5. So clear the weapon. Weapon's clear. I'm going to load in the dummy rounds. Okay, so the discussion here, oops, I'm doing this with my tablet so we can get some good focus. I can focus with the tablet. If you push hard enough, this will pop out just slightly in the back here. You can see it in the front. It takes quite a bit of effort to do this. It doesn't affect the gun firing. I've pushed it back. And we can still fire the gun. The trigger pull is going to be substantially harder. Now when the striker's not compressed back here, the spring, you can't do that. Now this first part right here is incredibly easy to push. So we're going to rack in another round. Oops. There's our, can't sissy it. Now this whole area right here, from here to here, is incredibly easy still. Now you can still, can't pull it back there, but we did actually just release the striker. Okay. It's on the floor somewhere. Okay, so here's the deal. I spent some time and tore my handgun down to figure out what the idea is here. And this is about one of the silliest things. My speculation on this is going to be that the spring for the firing pin has just enough force in it to counteract the mainspring while it is cocked. So that allows for this little bit of play here. Now if you push on this and really pay attention, this little bit right here feels like this little dot right here, there's a roller in there to help make a really smooth trigger pull. Now this is all easy movement. It doesn't affect the gun any, because if you holster this firearm, grab my holster here, gotta work around the tripod. A lot of guys are saying that they're having problems while holstering it. I'm not going to put my hand back here, but I'm going to push up on the back side of the leather and holster my firearm, and mine is fine. It does not go forward any further. Okay? Now, if you're having issues with this, when you're holstering your firearm, your retention's not set properly on your holster for one. As you can see, there's no indentation for the slide here, just a slight one. It does not catch there on the slide. Now I'm pushing really hard on the back to try to get this to pop out of battery, and it's still in battery. Okay, so the holster excuse is probably because of a bad holster or because you're using a high retention leather holster. So I don't want to hear that. Oh, my holster, blah blah blah. If it's doing this while you're holstering your gun, when you pull that out, it's going to pull it back. Simple enough. Right. Okay. Come on out of there. Let's disassemble the firearm. So, with a striker fired system, when you cock it, it pops over top of this, and then the spring loads on this, pushing this whole unit forward, which allows it to fire, which you can manually load with a screwdriver. So I disassembled this whole part out of here, the whole trigger assembly, and reattached the slide to see what the idea was. Now the little bit of movement you're seeing when this is actually loaded and this is in the actual position, this clip here pushes on the spring. The little bit of movement you're seeing is when the barrel's touching the locking lug and the spring and a little bit away from it, okay? Does that make any sense? So this spring is really tough, except when it's all the way out. So I know this spring's designed for a really good recoil for this pistol. So is it a spring issue? I can't really say yes, but I can't say no either, because the two springs are fighting against each other. So the other spring I was talking about is this one right here. Now you can manually push this forward. If you pop this out, I can manually push it forward while it's locked, but you can't hold it in there just right with your finger or a screwdriver or anything like that and try to practice the little bit of play that you get there. So even without ammo in there, it's still going to do it a little bit. But even with the gun this far back, it still released the striker. Now mine, personally, is not a really hard trigger pull even when it's like that. You can actually double fire on rounds in these. I think it's neat. Yeah, we got a couple left in here. Just a thought for anybody. You just got to pop it past that striker, and you got double fire capabilities because of the way the striker system works. I think that's kind of unique. So, get out of there. Got one left here. Wish I had a trigger measuring system here, but really simple. I didn't do anything special to my pistol at all to get it to do this. It's just clean. So I'm going to disassemble this and we'll go over it the other way. I'm not sure if I found the right spring or not, but it's the same size. I just got ready to tell you all about which spring to grab. Take your key in, push and turn this. This is the easier way to do it. Turn it just so it's locked in. You're going to take your barrel, lock it in. Okay, now there's two springs you got to watch out for. You got to watch out for this spring. You got to watch out for this one when you pull up. So put your hands over top where that's going to pop up. Pull up slowly. Catch both with both fingers. Here we go, I caught it that time. Now grab that one. Okay, there's a spring. I think I got the right spring. I might have put it on upside down was what it was. Now this one here is going to pop off and fly on you too. So pull that off. There you go. Now as I said before, when you push that pin through, this is what catches it here. So when we push this all the way through, we can see that there's a detent right there where it's supposed to, when you get into that certain spot, it's supposed to pop past it. There's still a little bit there, so if you wiggle that up, it pops out really easy. Okay, we want this in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reassemble our slide, barrel in, get in there. This is the fun part here, because it actually works. So we can actually hold on to this and cock the weapon, and we can see that when we move it, this is the pin, the striker in the lock position. The striker, this part just holds the firing pin, so we can see that if we move the slide, it doesn't move. None of the pieces down here are moving. Make sure we get this in a better focus here. Maybe right there. Too much light. There we go. You can see that none of these pieces move either. So if you want to check this stuff here, that's how it works. Pop that out, one pin, and you can have the firing pin assembly out. Or not the firing pin, this is the trigger. Put a couple taps here. Pull it right out. Come on out of there. It's a little lubricated. Set that up aside. So right here you can see everything going on. Let's lock it up again. Okay. Oh, I know what the deal is. I got the other light on. Just throwing this light off. There we go. Come on, spin over there. Okay. Let's get this in here closer. So here we go. You can see there's a little movement. That's it. But because the actual striker assembly is not changing, it doesn't affect the firing of the weapon. Now what's affecting the firing of the weapon, to make that harder trigger pull, which I haven't modified mine, it's the safety. Kind of neat. I gotta get the spring back in the right spot here. That's the fun part. Let's see, how did that go again? Oh yeah, like that. Okay. This spring here, there's a hole there, goes up inside. That's what's gonna pop our safety forward on us. And I'm gonna assemble this back into here. It's a lot harder to do this stuff in front of the camera than you think. So if you have anybody's videos you watch and they do this stuff, make sure you thank them. If you got to work around your camera, make sure you get halfway decent info. Okay, so then that fits down a little groove there. And I installed it upside down. See how awesome I am? You gotta look like a total dummy for putting your trigger back in upside down. Come on out of there. Alright, let's flip this around and do it the right way. Everything's in there backwards. There we go. And just put the spring in backwards too. Yeah, I'll leave it in there for you. Okay. So now we got it back in there, and you can see that so there's where your safety is. it's hard to put this in the battery. Okay, so we're going to pop it out again. Come on. Doesn't really want to do it. There we go. So now, as long as our trigger safety is good, we're good. Better make sure I hold that, like, here we go. So there's our hold up right there. The trigger safety is contacting the body. Let's see if we can get a good light on that. There you go, right there. So there's your hold up. It's just that little, it's the safety that's holding it up. The trigger's not actually getting any heavier. So there's 16 minutes of hopefully more understanding for everybody. There's actually nothing wrong with the gun doing what it's doing because of when it is in that position where it's slightly out of battery, which it's really not out of battery. This is the part that's important up here. See that barrel? It's not moving. As long as the barrel is locked in, we're all set. Is this something that's a problem with the gun? I think it just has to do with this roller bearing up there and the little bit of no resistance, because it feels like it's just riding right on that little roller bearing. Here y'all go. Oh, drop some more stuff on the floor.